The food professor points out our frozen aisles are in trouble. Nestle and their departure from Canada will eliminate many options in 6 months from now. The void will be significant. This could make frozen foods more expensive, at least for a while. So yeah, frozen pizza leaving the market is that's significant, right? How often is it easy to grab a Delicio or something like that? Won't have that option. And there's probably other brands that will step in, but they're smaller brands and maybe it will be more expensive. So who knows? Dr. Peterson says, he's responding to Mike Lee. He said, if you were poor, how would you feel about being asked to pay significantly more for food and energy based on the premise that, or the promise that doing so might, to an unspecified and unknown degree, prevent the planet from warming by 0.25 degrees Celsius to 4.5 degrees Celsius by 2100. And Peterson says, more to the point, how would you feel if you knew that there was a good chance that those same policies would actually make the problem worse while impoverishing you further, right? And these are the things that are not talked about widely because they don't want to talk about them. But really, there's no guarantee that anything that we're doing here is actually going to change anything about the temperature or anything like that. And they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down with fear, as if they know. And honestly, I think they do know, but they know that what they're pushing is nonsense. So I think there's other motivations happening. I'm sure there are people out there who believe the whole kit and caboodle, right? Corey says, I went to my bank. This is a clip off of Facebook or something to that effect. So take it with a grain of salt. It is on the internet. Okay. But I've heard other stories like this. I thought this was a good example to share. So Corey says, I went to my bank, RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, today and walked inside to all the tellers' desks gone. Just a wide open, empty area. You used to use bank machines only to deposit and withdraw cash. I asked the one staff member what's going on here, and she said, essentially going cashless, and if you want foreign money in larger amounts, then they will send you to a branch that still carries larger bills and has tellers, as you can only get $20 bills from the machine. I couldn't believe it. They're pushing digital fast. Cash is king, and we must use cash as much as possible. This RBC branch is in an Edmonton branch, and it's the branch on 111 Street and Ellerslie. And the person says, thanks for confirming. So what do you think about this, right? Do you think that they're moving to digital only? It seems like moves are being made. And if you try to counter move, there isn't, well, you'll be branded a racist or a crazy person, right? One or the other. And so it's very interesting what's going on, right? Roy Green says half of Canadians, 52%, tell Ipsos Canada for Global News that they have concerns they may not have enough money to feed their families. Today, February 5th, as promised, we follow up on Canadians completely out of money. And so these guys and your calls. So food professor, gas price wizard, these people and your calls. And London says, my household has entered the red zone. Our monthly income no longer covers the new mortgage and the line of credit bill. Our bills have gone up $800 a month. At the end of the month, we no longer have the money to cover the gas, electricity, phones, etc. We have canceled what we can. And she carries on. When I see this government telling me I'm a piece of garbage and telling me to pay more and more to save the planet, throwing money to other countries and ignoring ours, it infuriates me. We'll talk about our tank in a minute because we've got to talk about our tank. We sure do. Here's a bit more, piling some more fuel on the inflationary fire. George says, some people post photos of their cool cars and expensive toys. Me? Costco steak labels. This is from Kirkland, Medicine Hat, Alberta. Okay. And this is $80 for 1.7 kilograms of rib grilling steak, boneless. Okay. So mechanically tenderized, cooked to a minimum internal temperature, blah, 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 blah. Sounds delicious, right? That's a lot of money. $80.35. Wow. Right. A lot of money, cash money. You better have it, right? They're phasing out meat. They're phasing out cash. They're phasing out travel, 15-minute cities. It's happening faster than you think, right? Holy smoke. Here is Jasar Singh Hallen. He says 1 in 5 Canadians are out of money. 1 in 5 Canadians are skipping meals. It's time for the Liberals to stop being out of touch. It's time to turn hurt into hope. So this is on the House of Commons floor, I believe. Here we go.
Oral questions, questions orales. The honourable member Calgary Forest Lawn.
After 8 years of failed Liberal policies driving up inflation, Canadians are faced with high interest rates, higher mortgage payments, and seeing home prices double across the country. An average monthly mortgage under this government has more than doubled, going from $1,500 to more than $3,000. Home ownership is also impossible and a pipe dream for 9 out of 10 young people, as 35-year-olds are forced to continue to live in their parents' basements. Let's be clear, Liberal inflation caused this mess. Will they apologize and take responsibility for pricing young Canadians out of homes?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Madam Speaker, our plan not only makes life more affordable for Canadians, but is also fiscally responsible. We have confirmed our AAA credit rating. We have recovered 121% of our jobs lost during the pandemic, while the United States has only recovered 106%. We have maintained the lowest deficit and the lowest net debt to GDP ratio in the G7. That positions us very well to get inflation under control, improve affordability, and make sure that we create good, sustainable jobs for Canadians.
8 years of failed Liberal policies, Canadians have never had it so bad. And as Liberals continue to fist bump each other for spending hundreds of billions of dollars of other people's money, the results are absolutely horrific. 1 in 5 Canadians are completely out of money. 1 in 5 Canadians are skipping meals. And not only did Liberal inflation drive up the price of everything, they pile drive Canadians by raising taxes on them. Why are they so intent on taking more money from Canadians, leaving hardworking people and their family with less money and empty stomachs?
The Honourable Minister.
And they don't include the minister's response. Why? Because the minister doesn't actually answer any questions he's asked, because Liberals don't answer questions they don't like. It's scary because people can't get into the market. But what happens when you have a mortgage and say you're using the house to offset the cost of the increases to the price to live, and then the mortgage goes up by double? Right? What was $500 or $1,000 mortgage is now $1,500 to $2,000, or worse. What was a $1,500 mortgage is now a $3,000 mortgage. What happens then, right? When your mortgage comes up and instead of paying 1%, you're paying 4.5% or 5%, right, or more. So I don't know, man. It seems. And then how do you get ahead? Do you sell? Because if you sell, you're buying a smaller house in an inflated market still, and you're still worse off. So it's terrible. It's very difficult problem to get around, to deal with. Hello everyone, thanks for watching. Check out CanadaPoly.com or CanadaPoly2.locals.com for full episodes of Canada Poly Daily, looking at Canadian politics from a Canadian point of view. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful